morning, Benicia. I'm so excited. This is my son Adam graduated from Benicia High. He's been out here on this field. My son Zach. Where are you, Zach? There's my Zach. Is in the band. We are a Panther band family, and I am really thrilled to be here this morning. I've spoken a lot of relays this year as a hero of hope, from San Jose to UC Berkeley. A few weekends ago, I spoke at 3 relays in 24 hours. I was the opening speaker in Oakland. That night, I was the luminary speaker at Oracle Belmont Relay. And the next morning, I was the fight back speaker in Novato. So, let me tell you why I relay. For those of you who haven't had cancer, I'm sure you can imagine what it feels like to hear the words, you have cancer. But it starts before that. It starts with the waiting. It starts when you have a feeling in your gut that something isn't right. And so you wait. You wait through the tests. You try to put on a happy face for your family and your friends and your coworkers, even though you feel like your world is falling apart. You do your best and you wait. And then you get the word. You have breast cancer, Debbie. You're stage 3. We're going to fight this very aggressively. Your cancer treatment is going to take the next year of your life. What? And so you do what you have to do. You enter into what I call cancer camp. I started a blog shortly after I was diagnosed to talk myself through it, maybe help somebody else. And also I thought might be a legacy for my kids, a way for them to know me, maybe in a way that they didn't know me. So I started writing. Started chemo, 5 months of it. Nothing like having a foreign object put into your chest, a port, so that the chemo can drain into your biggest vein, your vena cava, and into your heart. You're the sickest you've ever been, and the saddest, the scaredest. Then there's the morning where you wake up and your pillow is covered in your own hair. It's not on your head anymore. Comes out in clumps in your hand. During my 5 months of chemo, I had to think about my upcoming surgery. When I wrote my blog, I decided to name my boobs Flopsy and Mopsy. And Flopsy had cancer, my left breast, but Mopsy didn't. And I had to make a really tough decision. Would I just have a single mastectomy and get rid of Flopsy, or would I do both? I decided that those girls had gone everywhere together, so they'd do this together too. The night before my surgery, I wrote a blog post, basically a tribute to my boobs. I recalled some of my favorite moments, and I thanked them for all their years of service. But I'll tell you, I make jokes about this, but when you're a girly girl, to lose your hair and your boobs, are you kidding? It's very hard waking up from surgery and peeking under the sheet for the first time. And where 2 fat bunnies used to live is a very flat chest and a tummy that was much bigger than I ever realized, because I'd never seen it past my boobs. There were many days during chemo and after my surgery, I'd look in the mirror at myself, and I didn't know me. I didn't recognize me. When I went to high school, I went to grad night at Disneyland, and I got a little leather bracelet that had my name on it. And so in those days, I pulled that bracelet out of my jewelry box. Because sometimes, after looking at myself, I would need to look down at my wrist and see my name, Debbie. I was still me, without my hair, without my boobs. I was still me. Went through radiation. That's fun. Called myself Glow Girl. Nothing like going into a room. They tell you they're all proud of it. This is a 4,000-pound door. This is a concrete room, and we want you in there, and we'll be out here. Right? And you lay down on a table, and you hear some weird clicking, and then you see a flashing light. Beam on, beam on. And you become Glow Girl. It took a few months, but one morning I had the courage to ask my husband, my high school sweetheart, do you ever miss Flopsy and Mopsy? And without missing a beat, he looked me straight in the eye and said, not as much as I would have missed you. You do what you have to do. But I'll tell you, something happened to me very early in treatment that was a game changer for me. And it's called Relay. My friend Kim Cooper, who's here somewhere, who's chair of Vallejo Relay, asked me to come out. I was like 3 months into chemo. This was summer of 2010. I didn't know what Relay was. I couldn't figure out why in my condition she wanted me to come out and walk the track at St. Vincent St. Pat's. But I figured I'd trust her. And so I went. I went that morning. I'd had an infusion the morning before. I felt like crap, and I thought I looked like crap. I wrapped my little scarf around my bald head, and I went to the survivors registration table, and they asked me, how long of a survivor are you? They were putting balloons on the wrists of survivors. And I said, well, I'm not a survivor yet. I'm still in treatment. And she said to me, honey, as soon as you hear those words, you have cancer, you're a survivor. So I'm putting a 1 on your balloon. She tied it on my wrist. And I got out there, I put my survivor shirt on. I was one purple shirt among many. And I started to walk that track. I looked at all the survivors around me, and I was changed. With every step, I felt empowered. I felt embraced. It was like somebody handed me a can of cancer whoop ass and said, you can do this. And I took that in my hand and I went around that track, and I am telling you, that morning I walked into Relay 2 summers ago, a cancer victim, and I came out a breast cancer survivor. It changed me. So my first relay, I walked with no hair, summer of 2010. My second relay, I walked without Flopsy and Mopsy and little Easter chick hair. This year, I'm walking as a hero of hope for ACS. I got my fake boobs on for you this morning, and I'm wearing my pin, that says, yes, these are fake because my real ones tried to kill me. So now, you know, when you go through something like this, and you get through something like this, and you think, whew, I did it. It's over. Cancer can't come any closer than this. But I was wrong. There's a girl that I love, and her name is Kara. She's sitting right there. She's my son's girlfriend, and we love Kara bad in our house. The dogs too. We all love Kara. And I will never forget this last February, Kara was over at the house, sitting on the love seat next to Adam. And she just looked kind of tired. She wasn't her usual chipper, perky, sparkly self. She told me, she calls me Mana because, long story short, when Adam was a senior year and they made the senior shirts with the names on them, and instead of Adam, it was Aden. So I became Mana. She said, Mana, I've been bruising a lot lately. I thought, well, you're probably just maybe a little anemic. You probably just need to go to the doctor. And Kara went to the doctor. Doctor reassured her, probably was mono. We'll clear this up. We'll give you some antibiotics. Everything will be fine. My husband and I kind of joked, oh dear, that means Adam's got mono too. So we envisioned the two of them convalescing at our house, and we'd have to make them their favorite chocolate milk and order pizzas. But when Kara got back her blood results, her doctor told her to go straight to UCSF. At 20 years old, in February, Kara was diagnosed with leukemia. My son, Adam, was like, Mom, what contest in hell did I win? First is Mama, and now is Girl. This is why we relate, because it doesn't stop. For all the great stories, there are still people who are working hard and fighting really hard. The good news is that Kara is in remission, but Kara still has a long road ahead of her. You know, just because you're in remission doesn't mean the treatment stops. Kara will have, she's already started, you know, she spent 40 days in the hospital that first go around at UCSF. She'll have at least 2 years of treatment ahead of her. This is why we relay. We relay to celebrate survivors like me and all the strides in cancer research and treatment. I was stage 3. I'm cancer free. We relay to celebrate and remember those that we lost to cancer, like my mom, who was 46 when she died of renal cell cancer. And we relay mostly for those who are still in the fight, like Kara Hansen. I have 3 luminaries that I put out. One is for me. One is for my mom. And one is for Kara. I relay so that another daughter doesn't have to bury her mother. I relay so that another mama doesn't have to tell her kids, Mommy has cancer. And I relay so another mama doesn't have to hear the words, your daughter has cancer. That's why I relay. I am telling you that what you're doing here means something. It's important. We live in a world where so much means so little, and this means something. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It's really good to be home. Thank you so much.